Hey, me again. Today, as you can read from the title, I'm going to be giving my opinions on education. Well, I finally made that choice because as of filming this, right, I had like 3 options what I wanted to talk about today lined up. And then I forgot one of them. Because like the 3 things I wanted to talk about were education, like the school syllabus and that, the uniform in schools in this country and why it makes no sense, and something else. I'll remember what it is, I'll remember. Oh yeah, like opinions in fact, like my opinion on opinions as a whole. Because some of them can get really dumb. But here we go. I don't like the school syllabus. Partly because I think a lot of it is not very helpful. Because I don't know if this is in all schools, but it's in the school that I go to. When you get into year 7, it's mandatory to take. First of all, we'll start with the physical side of things. You have to take both dance classes and physical education classes, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. For example, in American schools in the USA, they pick either like dance classes or, you know, or physical education classes when they go into high school, which makes sense because you don't need both. The only reason you take PE and dance, if you don't like those subjects, is for the physical side of things. And if you do like that subject, well then you're going to have picked it in the first place. So I don't understand. Also, like the more practical lessons like drama and dance and arts, I think those should be made, like, you should be given a choice when you reach a certain age. Like, make them take it for a certain amount of years, because if you give like a 4-year-old a choice of what classes they want to do, like some of them won't pick classes that they may love if they'd have picked it. So make them do it for a certain amount of years, and then give them a choice, because if they don't love it and it's something they don't want to pursue, then it's going to be wasting years of their time. For example, I took in high school, I took before GCSE subjects, I took like dance, I took art, I took drama, I took design technology, I took computing classes, and I took design technology. In that I took sewing, textiles, that kind of thing, cooking classes, which was actually very helpful and is not one of the ones that I'm going to mention here, because that was actually useful. And woodwork. Like, apart from the cooking, I don't use any of that in my day-to-day life. Like, it taught me nothing. I remember nothing from that class. Like, I might remember the odd random trivia facts from any of them classes, but I don't remember anything I was taught. So it was a waste of my time. Because, when they say, it's not about like what you're learning, it's about learning how to learn. If anything, that made me learn worse, because I don't learn. I'm no good at learning, because I don't know how to learn. Because I have the things that I'm good at. If I try anything else, my brain will just explode, and that's not healthy. It's no good, and I want to fix that. But I don't know how to do that, because I don't know how to learn. And because like sometimes I wish in class they just go back to the basics. But since we already covered the basics, they expect us to know all that stuff already, even though I don't know what I'm doing. Especially in English, because I am terrible at English. I can speak it, and that's about all I can do. Because like, you know, back in like school and stuff, some of you might be in school now, when you have to write paragraphs analyzing text. Yeah, no good at that, because I don't think about things that I read that way. I don't find the hidden meanings. I take what they say literally. If you want to put some hidden meaning behind it, just say what you're trying to say. Because I can like pick out things that they directly tell me mean something, but if I have to figure it out for myself, I don't know what you're talking about. That's why I like maths. Maths is a good subject. Because for every maths question, there are a maximum of maybe 3 answers for every question. With like English and stuff, it's open to interpretation. It's an opinion question. Because like it's a matter of what do you think? And apparently no wrong answers. Why? That makes no sense. The point of the question is to get the answer that you need. If everyone's giving you different answers and they're all correct, what the hell are you gonna do? It's like if you ask someone for advice, if you ask someone a question, and everyone's giving you a different answer, and they're all apparently correct, you're gonna be stuck. You ain't gonna know what you're doing. Another thing, religious studies. That can go away. Because like, I understand the concept of getting us to learn about religion, so we're more quote unquote acceptant of said religion. But I still don't like it. I still don't think it was a good use of my time. Because it's a mandatory GCSE. It is a mandatory GCSE. I have to take these classes for the next 2 years. Because someone thought, oh, people aren't very nice to them, they're religious people. Let's make everyone learn it. Because, like, I don't care what religion you are. I will not agree with your religion, but I don't care. It don't affect my life. Unless you're forcing me to do some dietary requirements, then you can get in the bin. I'm eating what I want. But I also think it's good. Like, no, that's not a good point. Never mind. But I also, PSHE classes, PSHE. I've forgotten what it's. Personal health. I don't know. Anyways, I don't think it's a lot of good. Like, because it's like a mandatory class until you hit year 11, in which they stop making you learn it. Because like you literally cannot get PSHE classes into year 11, which is really stupid. Because like, if they're not gonna bother like make us get a GCSE out of it, then what was even the point in the first place? Because like that's the whole thing. Because we have to take mandatory religious studies lessons, which in itself is, I don't think, great. Because, you know, I've stopped learning. It's just wasting my time now. But they also make us take mandatory PSHE lessons. But unlike the religious studies, we don't have to take the GCSE, which in some ways is a good thing, because I don't particularly like the PSHE lessons. I think they're not taught in the best way. Plus, there's only one teacher at our school, which isn't great for the amount of time that we get in each lesson. Because we get 50 minutes a week of learning things. And at the moment, we're writing our CVs, which I have no idea how to do. So I have not been doing work in the past however many lessons. So yeah, it's mildly ridiculous, some of the stuff that happens. And there was someone else I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, because I do think that if people need, like, if people want to do like certain careers in their future, some of this stuff is helpful that we learn. But if they don't want those specific careers, it's absolutely useless. Like trigonometry, I can see how that would be useful in like life, but unfortunately, you know, not everyone's going to want to become scientists and that. So it's not helpful for everyone. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is though, because if you make people pick up the careers too early, you know, they're not gonna get a decent education. They're not gonna find out if they maybe want to do other things. But I think we should give them some form of choice early on, because otherwise they're gonna end up wasting years of their life doing things that they have no need to do. And it's mildly ridiculous, some of the stuff that we're taught in schools. Like, we're just taught straight up lies in school sometimes. Like, we're taught things that didn't actually happen, and I don't know why. I'm not going to go into it because I haven't actually done that much research into this to see if that stuff is true or not. But it's like like people were taught in schools that like Henry Ford invented the car. Not true, as I found out. Someone invented the car like years, like I think it was years before Henry Ford did. But we were taught that in schools. Also, there's like I'm not gonna get into the uniform. That's a different video. I'll get into that another time. But it is stupid. Uniform is stupid. And I forgot what else I was gonna say. But at the moment, like in history and stuff, specifically, we're learning about the Cuban Missile Crisis, which is actually very interesting. History is one of the classes that I do actually really enjoy because it's just very interesting. That's why it's like when you hit GCSE age in my school, you have to take you get put on a pathway. You're put on a pathway, and you either pick. You have to pick depending on what pathway you're on. If you're on pathway 1, you pick a language, humanities, history, geography, etc. Actually, just those two, and then you get free pick over one other subject that you want. I chose history as my humanities, and I picked Spanish as my language because that's the language I've been taking throughout all of high school, so I thought it made sense to pick it now as well. And I picked music as my other subject because, you know, I really like music, and I thought it would be a good choice. But if you're on like pathway 2, you have to pick a language or a humanities, and then another subject, number 2 subjects that you want. And if you're on pathway 3, just get wherever you want. And I was put on pathway 1, so I had to take a language, which I don't really see the point of. Because people say, oh, it makes you stand out more and get basically more opportunities. They're gonna look at your CV twice over someone else's. Because they're like, oh, clearly they're like more dedicated to education and like that kind of thing, and they can learn more. They can do this job, plus they can go overseas and do jobs there. But I don't know. Just I don't really think it's necessary, but the other subjects that I have available to me, they're even more useless, so I'm not going to bother even changing. Because like the other subjects that are available to me right now, I think are like drama, art, that kind of thing, like the GCSE subjects that you pick. And I don't see any point doing that, because like while Spanish maybe, I don't think it's any use for, because like one could argue that music is not like a choice for careers, because like you might not go into the music business, or history is not a helpful choice for GCSE because, you know, you might not become like a historian or a history teacher or something like that. But available options I have, because like none of these, like apart from the essential ones, none of them are really going to help me in my future, so I might as well just pick the most interesting ones I can get my hands on, you know. And for me, that was what I picked. I should have just asked to be on a different pathway. Because I don't know what I would have picked. I might have... I feel like I should have picked computer science and that. Actually, nah. I don't think I would have done very well in there. But some of the things that they teach you in schools, it's just no help at all. I'm just gonna sit here and wait for hard mode to set real quick. Because yeah, because this is basically just like my opinion on why I don't like school. If we're going, we got some time to kill right here. If we're going into why I don't like school as a whole, then actually never mind. But, basically, the people, the teachers, because some of the teachers I don't like. Not just because, like, you know, oh, set homework and that. No, they're genuinely mean people, and I don't think that they should be allowed to teach, because some of them say things that could genuinely be damaging to a young mind. It's like some of them like call their students like pathetic and childish and tell them to grow up. And I'm just here thinking, you do know that if you're telling them to grow up, chances are they're not going to be able to grow properly, because you're going to keep damaging their mind. I'm not going to name this teacher because most of you don't go to my school. Some of you do. Most of you don't go to my school and you won't know who I'm talking about. But there are a few teachers at my school that I just think, how did you ever get a job teaching children? How did you ever get a job around other people? Because they will just say things that are so rude, like things that I wouldn't say. And I'm not hesitant to say most things. It's like some of them, because people do talk in class. It is a thing that happens. But I feel that if the teacher is just like telling people that they're gonna fail in life because they're just talking in class, what? I don't get it. I don't understand. I think teachers just need to be nicer to children, and maybe they'll get a bit of respect back. Because teachers do remember what it was like to be like 14, 15. They remember how much they hated everyone. So they can empathize with like what's going around in our brains and stuff. So yeah, be nice to the children. Be nicer to everyone. Be nice. Try. Otherwise I will have to deck you in the mouth. Anyways, see you in the next one. Goodbye.